Hey, hey, hey. Do you see it?
Yeah, I'm clicking on it. I just have to mute it.
Okay. Hey, hey,
There we go.
hey.
It says there was a network error, so I'm popping it up again.
Hey, hey, hey. Hey, hey, hey. Okay. I don't want to overload them. Technical difficulties. How we doing? Let's see here.
I
We're
can't even see
live.
it. Keep saying there's a network error.
A
I
net.
keep reloading the page.
Oh, really?
hmm I'm just gonna wait to see if. Yeah, there we go. I see it.
Okay. I can make you a little bigger here. I wish you were half. I wish you were half the page.
It's okay.
Hey, what's up, everybody? Barrick, Trillion. We got PD Bear. How you doing? I need to see.
What's that?
Where is chat? Why am I not in chat? Oh, there we go. Heyo, Chap Daddy. Josh, how you doing? Let me see. I gotta see how many people are here. 0 viewers. Okay. Did I log into Nightbot? I gotta make sure I've been doing everything right. Hello, Curse T. All right. We're gonna get this better eventually.
Yeah, perfected.
I'm at my kitchen table, kind of doing the best I can. You can see more ceiling than anything.
Doing a good job.
What's up, Lynx? All right. Trillion. All right, cool. Well, I
Can they
think
say? Can they see
Lynx.
us?
3 months. Lynx, look at that beautiful brass shield you just earned. Oh yeah, they can see us.
Okay, cool. I'm gonna
Move
pull the
up this
chat window on my
camera.
phone.
You know what I should do? Hold on. Well, no, I shouldn't.
Bryce shouldn't mess with anything.
You're right. I should not mess with anything. I'll just
This is the
leave
one
that.
time in your life that I'll tell you you're not making good
You
choices
know
if you do.
the weird thing is it was easier to do this, to actually do songs on here, than to do this with this guy. I don't
Yeah.
know which way to go. This way. Okay. Heyo, Mass. How's it going? Good to see ya. Rags. What's up?
I tried to hold that burp and I couldn't do it.
What are you drinking?
Me, I'm drinking a caffeine-free Diet Coke.
Nice.
Here, wait,
Nice.
hold on. I'll focus so we can get advertisement money.
You know, I feel like I really want to filter you a little bit. I'm gonna cut you down. Hold on. I'm gonna crop you real quick. 1 second. I'm
Crop.
cropping. I'm cropping you. There we go. That's much better. Now I can make you bigger, I think.
Maybe.
Well, was that any better? Anybody? I doubt it. Not really.
You know, small people in the world matter.
All right. Bedtime for Mock. Working remotely. Good for you.
Congratulations.
Thanks for saying hi. You still have a job, and that's big congrats to you. What's up, Tom? Doubleton? I'm glad you guys can hear us because I had to download a whole program right before we got on because I couldn't get audio for Robbie.
Yeah, the struggle was real for sure.
And Robbie is leaning way back, so now he's like a little ant. All right.
It's making it matter. I'm logging into Twitch on my phone so I can actually see the chat because,
You can't see it?
well, I could I don't know. It's probably because like we're doing this and it's doing that, and I'm not on the Twitch stream, so
Okay. We're almost there, guys.
oh my gosh.
Oh, boy.
I have to go to Gmail because Twitch sent me some stupid code.
Oh, nice.
So, because I have to verify my login on a phone.
Sweet. Jordan, how's it going? Ni hao, what's up? So, just so you guys know, we, probably Christy and me, will be doing some songs on Friday. So, show up for that. This is just a chit chat, just chatting. Kinslayer, what's up? ZT Husters,
Talking about life.
Numbers, how's it going?
What's up, Numbers?
I'm highlight of my weeks these days. Good. I'm glad you know it's weekly. I've done it the last two, and hope to keep doing it. Quarantunes is quality content. What's up, Mr. Berg? Becky Butt, hello. I don't know what all these badges mean, but some of you are highly qualified.
Australia. Hi from Australia.
Todd, what's up? It's only like lunchtime there right now. Hello, hello. Order 37. Welcome. Furlough extended, staying up till midnight on Fridays. That's great. Florida represent. Jen, you're up late. I love it. PD Bear, how's it going? Thanks for subscribing. Krognar the Red, hey yo. Double ton. Yahoo is sending me emails fantasy football leagues, so yeah, there's gonna be no fantasy football. I mean, you can have fantasy football and just have like AI figure out how every player does in some AI fantasy. Badge for donating bits. Whatever you are, Barrick, you're first. Hello, Lethal Essence from Utah. Okay, so what I want to do, I wanted to get together and sync up, because we've all been in this physical isolation, physical distancing, but we don't have to socially distance ourselves. We can still be here. We can have...
Yes.
You can meet Robbie's dog. Robbie can be there. I can be here. We're all still together in almost real time interacting.
Only a 40-second delay.
Well, I think probably more like 2. I don't know. I saw Tiger Man. It's a hit song. I know he didn't write it or even sing it, but doesn't mean I'm not gonna. So I want you to, if you have a drink around, raise your glass, if you will. Toast. I can't even figure out how to use this camera.
Cannon, raise your drink, bro.
Everybody we're all going to take a sip together, okay? This is the commensurate opening toast. Cheers. We're going to cheers and we're going to drink. All ready? To staying positive and testing negative to the criminals.
I used to say that when I was 20.
Together. It means a little something more today. Take it. Cheers, everybody. To you.
Cheers. If I'm looking down, by the way, everybody, it's because I'm looking at my phone because that's where I have your chat stream at?
We'll do this again, and I'll get the split screen a little better.
Put the dog on, please. Cannon, you want to have anything to say? Hold on. He'll say something. Let's see if I can get him to.
Say
Cannon.
something, Cannon.
Cannon. Woof. Woof. Who is it? No, you're almost there. Who is it? No, woof. Louder. Where's Dane? Gotta hurry. Get him. Can you hear him?
Yeah.
Get
Getting
him.
mad.
Go get him.
Giving your dog anxiety.
Where are they? Go get him. There we go.
Nice. Good pup.
Finally.
Good pup.
Oh, well, now he's not going to stop. Now he's not going to stop. Go get him. Go get him.
Oh, he's getting something. He's getting some.
He's getting nothing.
He's going to get that couch. Going to get that furniture.
Oh, my God.
Hey,
The life of having corgis.
Cheers with your frozen pizza. That works too. Whatever you want to do, we do it together. Sarah, how's it going? Sarah Tate.
Sarah Tate.
Short
Robbie's dog is my
shorts.
favorite band member.
He's got a good growl.
Got a good growl, dude.
Ever since post Phoenix, Robbie's beard's been on point. That's like 7 years of beard on point.
Yeah, I didn't have one last year, but I mean, towards the end of last year I did. But it's like, it's getting ridiculous. Like, it's
good. It's better. I mean, I just keep trimming mine. I can't handle it. But I could grow it back out. My hair is going to be growing out.
It's a lot to take care of.
Yeah, well, it's the one hair that I'm confident that I can trim. My head hair is going to be, if we stay like this, there's going to be no barber for several months. And so we're all getting cool hair. We're all getting through the awkward phase together.
We're going to be back to the 2006 band photo days by the time this is done. Like, dude, I can total emo kid out right now.
The software I downloaded to make this work has now just been unlocked by me. It said the trial version was up.
Oh, no.
But we're good now. We are good. Are we peaking to anybody? Are we too loud to anybody? Okay, we're good. Lads, says Corey McMeekin. The new album is next level, amazingly good. Reminds me of the days listening over and over to Albatross and Silvercord. Wow, that's a huge compliment. Thank you. Ethereal Space. I'm glad your dad lives close too. Blindly trim your hair. Hopefully he's not, 72. You don't want to get that close.
Hopefully he can see, actually. When you said blindly, that has me worried.
Friend and sister both said you sound like Brendan Urie. No way. I'm not nearly as good of a singer as Brendan Urie.
This isn't the gospel.
Have you heard that song where he does the Frozen soundtrack song where he's like, Into the Unknown?
Oh my God, yeah. I tried to hit that in the car one time, and I just was disgusted with myself when I tried to do it. It was horrible.
I can do it, but it is ugly. That guy, I mean, it's Studio Magic too. He's never going to sing that song live, so they tweaked it. But it sounds amazing.
I watched a video from have you ever seen those videos on YouTube where it's a vocal coach dissects somebody's performance? I watched one of those things, and it was about that song, and the guy showed like how to sing. There's like diaphragm, throat voice, head voice, and then your falsetto. Yeah. So like his head voice is the one that the guy called it, is the one that hits that really high note. It's not even a falsetto.
No. Yeah, I can do it. But I'm just saying my head voice is disgusting compared to that. Like, he makes it sound buttery. And I know, studio stuff too. But it's a very big compliment. I accept it. Thank you for saying I sound like that guy, because that guy can sing.
He can.
Everyone says TCC sounds like Panic when I introduce them to you guys. Well, that's cool. We came out around the same time. They were always way bigger than us. But they were actually younger than us, that band.
They blew up literally without even playing a show.
Yeah. We were always jealous. We're like, this band blew up out of nowhere, but they were really good, so you couldn't really fault them.
I didn't like their early stuff. Love the new stuff.
Really?
I didn't like the early stuff.
Oh, well, imagine. Well, now look at it that. This way. I'll take it, your marriage is saved.
Yeah, I didn't like it.
Bum.
Maybe it's just because there were so many like scene kids that I didn't like that were all about it.
I chimed in with the haven't you people ever heard of closing the goddamn door now. Come on.
Yeah, I didn't like it.
You didn't like it?
I remember it. I liked, cool. But I like their new stuff. But maybe they just weren't poppy enough for me.
It was because it was straight pop to me. It sounded like Fall Out Boy with strings. I
didn't like the Beatles like shtick that they had going on, where like marching through the street and like the. I didn't like that.
Trying to be cool.
It just seemed forced.
Sometimes,
even at the time, it just seemed forced.
Sometimes it isn't. Sometimes it just is cool, and you can like it.
Yeah.
Finally getting our covers. Yeah. I liked it when My Chemical Romance did it, though. Yeah, when everyone dresses up like they're on the cover of Sgt. Pepper's. Then they march through they're like a marching band. What do they call that? It's not marching. It's like, I don't know.
But baton twirling?
Yeah, it's like that, but it's called like one word. It's called like
pep.
Action or something. Drum major? Yeah, it's drum major, but it's like, I don't know.
See, my favorite, to answer my favorite Panic at the Disco song is L.A. Devotee. I love that song. Best Panic at the Disco song they ever wrote.
You know, my friend Dan Koch of Sherwood was texting me last night, and he sent me some band that's like, there's a lot of this like emo revival stuff happening, like these indie bands that are coming out but they're like young kids doing kind of what like was happening in the early 2000s, like almost 20 years ago.
Yeah.
And he's like, check this band out, it's amazing, blah, blah, blah. I forget the name of the band. I'm not going to get it right, but it made me think of like all these bands we were like on Warped Tour with. It made me think of the Hush Sound. Do you remember the Hush Sound?
I remember the Hush Sound slightly. I didn't listen to them a lot.
I looked it up and I listened to those songs and I was like, oh, you'll remember these songs. That girl is in the girl from Hush Sound is in Vampire Weekend now. So I went down a rabbit hole, and so the Hush Sound reminded me of something else, which reminded me of something else, and then I was on the Deer in the Headlights album, Small Steps and Heavy Hooves, and I was like, this is one of the best records of, well, it was like 2007, I think it came out. But I remember nonstop listening to it. And so then I went on their Wikipedia and I was like, why aren't they putting out music? Like, why are we putting out music and they're not putting out music? And then the guy like quit and went back to his FedEx job, like the songwriter of this band. And then he came back to do like a couple things, but he's just not making music anymore. And I thought, it almost like inspired me, like, oh my gosh, I should never quit. I should just keep doing this. Because I thought about, like, this week we lost John Prine, who was a really just a well-known songwriter, really great songwriter. I hadn't listened to a lot of his stuff, but I listened to a bunch this week because he just died. And he was like 73, still going, still making albums. And so I was just like, of all the bands that we came up with that were really good, that I was sincerely a fan of their music, and they're not making music anymore. And like, it breaks my heart that this guy's out there maybe driving for FedEx or something. And like, he's not using his talents because his voice is really unique. His lyrics and the way he delivers them. Do you remember the Deer in the Headlights?
I remember Deer in the Headlights, yeah.
Speak now.
What song was it?
Don't take it personal, honey. I know. What's that? Sweet Talk?
I think it's Sweet Talk.
That one was like
Yeah, it's their biggest one.
That was the catchy
It's this one right here. You'll hear it.
Okay.
Don't like every other one, don't wanna let you down. I'd rather let you fall apart so you back off. A
Kicks
bit
in in a
obvious, so you forgot to talk. Won't take it personal, honey. I know you just been busy, you need to be alone. Or you can call me if you wanna sing a song over the telephone.
Sounds like crap. It sounds like crap.
Yeah.
Oh, through the
good.
mic, but the song is amazing.
Oh, is it not routed? I wonder if I'm not routed correctly through here because it should just play straight through there.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Where am I through? Loop back audio. Oh, you know what? I probably have loop back turned down. The wherever that is.
So check that out, you guys. If you want to know something I loved in 2007, when I was, gosh, we would have been doing. That would have been Seattle Sessions. We would have been working on Silver Cord, which sounds nothing like this band. But Deer and the Headlights, Small Steps, Heavy Hooves, is just a phenomenal record. And so I was down the rabbit hole last night, and I was thinking, why don't I listen to music anymore? Because I used to listen. We used to be out there touring, going on Warped Tour, whatever. And I would get records, and I'd be like, put it in, and it would be the record for like a month. I just don't do that anymore.
Off tour, did you ever have a point where you didn't listen to music? Where we were touring so much where you're just like, I can't stand hearing another frickin' band.
Yeah. I mean, that
was me until like 5 years ago.
That's me for the last 5 years. I just not listened.
For 5 years, I mean, until about 5 years ago, I would listen to Dead Silence, like The Road.
Oh yeah.
In my car. Like if I was driving, I mean, people were like, hey, you should put on music. I'm like, no. Like they just offended me.
Right.
And it was, but yeah, about 5 years ago, I think when the electronic music thing kicked in, I was kind of like, oh, this is something we haven't toured with.
Right. Yeah, we toured with like the metal screamo version of it. That's about it. Just keyboards. But still a drummer. But what's the last record that you listened to, like front to back, that you thought was worth playing 100 times? And I mean record, not single or...
Not single, like the full album.
Yeah.
Like rock music?
Mm-hmm.
Ooh.
Any music. Any music.
I think, honestly, God, hold on. I need to look up the album. Hold on.
If you have to look it up, it wasn't worth playing 100 times.
No, it was. You'll agree with me that it was. I just can't remember the name of the album because it blends. I think it might be the name of a song, but I don't want to get it wrong and sound like an idiot. I'd rather just look it up. What is it? Yeah, it was. Yeah, I would have gotten it wrong. The Starting Line Directions was the last. I listened to that full album over and over again.
That's 2007.
2007, The Starting Line.
That was 13 years ago is the last time you listened to an album front to back.
No.
The front to back, and you needed to listen to it more than front to back.
That was last week that I listened to this album front to back.
Oh, okay. I just mean that came out recently.
Oh. I Prevail. I Prevail's new album I listened to front and back over and over. The newest Bless the Fall record I did that with while I worked. Mainly, I mean, like anything that Deadmau5 puts out, I listen to front to back on repeat because, I mean, there's lyrics, but they kind of blend with the synth, so it's kind of like monotonous, like work music, and I enjoy it. But that's about it. What about you? Like recently?
Nothing recently. I mean, nothing. I mean, I've listened to records, but just nothing like front to back. So,
front to back's a hard thing to do these days because a lot of albums are like 2 good songs and a lot of filler.
Yeah. I mean, there's bands that are doing really, really cool things, and I like it, and I listen to it, and I think that's great. But nothing that's grabbed me. I think the record that's grabbed me the most was 10 years old, and that was Arcade Fire, The Suburbs.
Dude, you listen to that thing non-stop.
Yeah. And I haven't listened to it in like several years. I mean, I have it on vinyl behind me. And sometimes I'll put it on, but like that was it for me. Like that to me was the pinnacle. And then yeah, some national records we played a lot.
I was just gonna say the
Yeah.
national.
And that Tame Impala record Currents was
That's a
super
good one.
cool. That I listened to a bunch. I mean, it's just good. Like every time I travel and go on an airplane, I would listen to that. But I swear that's 7 years old at this point. 6 years old or 7 years old. So yeah, we've listened to. I mean, yeah,
Frozen 2.
Frozen 2 soundtrack quite a bit. And-
Into the unknown.
I mean, Taylor Swift records get a lot of play because the kids like that. That one
don't
Ryan
like the
Adams
Taylor
cover
Swifts.
of that Taylor Swift record, we played a lot.
1989 was the best Taylor Swift record. I don't like the new one.
'Cause people are mad. They think we're like, we're breaking our edge or ruining our cred.
No. What's that say?
Conan Gray, I don't know.
I don't know who that is.
Tell us how you referenced Cheap Shots at the end of before I woke up. How
He
I
said the
reference it?
words. He said the words.
I sang. It's the same. So Sarah, I'll answer that briefly. The end of Before I Woke Up has a similar. It's the chorus of Cheap Shots essentially, and that song was supposed to stop abruptly, like immediately. And while I was playing with the strings right before I sent it off to mixing, there was a bunch of cello. And I thought, man, what if the cello, because we had a lot of other songs that stopped abruptly. What if the cello kept going? I think this song is going to be the last song on the album. So I flew it over, so it would play out over the end. And noticed that the root notes were the same root notes of Cheap Shot. So I started singing that part. And coming out of the part before, I thought it was just an interesting postscript metaphorically for some of the lyrics in the song. And I thought it would be a great callback. I like doing callbacks. So it was just kind of like an inspirational moment. Well, I'll sing it, and then I don't know about it. And then I'll send it off to the guy, and I'll be like, if you don't like it, cut it out. And he's like, no, I like it. So it kind of made its way in there. Robbie dropped a garbage opinion, then left to vomit. You shouldn't. I mean, yeah. They're not fans of your musical taste, Robbie.
I don't know what the opinion was. Oh, about Taylor Swift's records?
I don't know what it is.
I'm not a fan of your non-descriptive freaking comment.
Mixmaster Mariano is not a fan. When's the last time you had SpaghettiOs, Robbie?
Dude, don't even get me started about SpaghettiOs because I went and then the mass hysteria in this country started and then they shut down all the schools. All these parents needed to buy their stupid kids SpaghettiOs, and so I didn't get any.
They hoarded all the SpaghettiOs?
Can't even find them. Can't even find them. SpaghettiOs and freaking hand sanitizer are sold out worldwide.
I got some.
Cannon's pissed too because every time I open a can, I let him lick the lid. The little lid. He just loves it.
Oh, never mind. My hand sanitizer is in the car, which seems like a better spot for it since you're only really sanitizing out.
No, dude, people break your window for that shit these days.
Really?
Probably.
Well,
I mean,
I'll get the COVID.
if I was in
don't
that
care.
position, I might.
I'll get the COVID. Done pop music from the get-go. You know, I love musical opinions. Not to judge people with musical opinions. Whenever I step back, you know, you zoom out and you just see everyone with all their opinions. It's really, really funny to watch how strongly people hold sports opinions and music opinions. and best fast food restaurant opinions. Those are the opinions that people want to
I
fight
feel like
about.
best fast food restaurant opinions and sports opinions are stronger than music opinions.
Really? Beatles or Stones? Come on.
No, I don't feel like people really care about that stuff that much more anymore. I feel like if you go
they
like
do in like hip hop or who was the greatest whatever band of the 90s, like you'll get in huge fights.
if you tell people like if you tell some people like Del Taco sucks, they'll be like,
They'll
what's
freak
wrong
out.
with you?
They'll freak
They'll
out.
freak out.
Yeah.
Or if you're like In and Out, it's
But
okay.
here's the thing. I think it's just that kind of freak out is LARPing. It's live action role playing. It's like we all want to spar to pretend we're doing battle to prepare for real battle. And the way we do that, well, the way guys do that in groups is we talk shit about each other and push each other's buttons and then see if we can handle it. The way we do it publicly is we argue about something that no one's going to get killed over, right? We're practicing for the time where people are going to get killed. But no one's going to get killed over like In-N-Out versus McDonald's or whatever, you know? Like that's just such a harmless thing.
True.
But we role play. We get into the heat of that argument to kind of give ourselves a taste of war in peacetime, maybe. It's one opinion. You can take it or leave it.
I think it's a
Beatles
very
were
valid
stoned.
opinion. That's what I was looking at. I was like, the Beatles were stoned. Yeah, the Beatles were stoned. Actually, you know what's funny is my wife Mandy, we were talking today, and she said she doesn't understand how people liked the Beatles. She just really didn't get it. Then I showed her Helter Skelter, and she goes, "This doesn't sound like the Beatles." She really liked it. I showed her Revolution Number 9. She loved it. I was like, "Yeah, how high do you think they were when they wrote this?" And she's like, "I don't know, but I feel like I need to be high to listen to it." I'm like,
Yeah.
"That's good."
Yeah, listen.
And so,
listen. There's Glass Onion and Strawberry Fields and
Strawberry Fields is a good one.
Lucy in the Sky with Diamonds.
I don't like that.
I mean, it's kind of trippy in the not chorus. Matt, did you
The
just
not
defend
chorus.
feeling passionate about McDonald's as a biological imperative? Not biological?
Huh?
What I'm you mean like we evolved to do this to kind of have fake arguments about things so that when we have to have the real arguments we'll be sharp? Sure.
McDonald's prepared you for politics.
Yeah. Fighting about McDonald's. I am the walrus, cuckoo, choo.
That's a
As
good
a
one.
means of survival. Sure, and it's about testing a tribal boundaries, right? We all want to be a part of the in tribe, and when we turn to a friend, we say, "You don't like something totally asinine. You don't like taco time? Are you crazy?" That's like challenging them. It's like, are we even friends? It's like challenging loyalty.
I thought I knew your mouth.
I thought I knew who you were and your taste buds. And now I don't know anymore. I don't know anything anymore. It just gives you a reason to practice.
I respect what comes out of your mouth, but I don't respect what goes in anymore.
I don't respect anything that goes inside your mouth. Everything that goes in your mouth is garbage.
It's complete garbage.
Yeah.
Love the stuff that comes out of it, though. Taco time. A Taco Bell greater than Taco Time?
Wait. No, taco. That's a less than. No. Taco Time is eating Taco Bell, so yes, Taco Time is greater than.
Yeah, greater than. Yeah, that's right.
Cool.
Did I say it the other way around?
No. Yeah, you're fine. We're just math impaired.
The
Mighty Taco, Mexican.
the
food
only
from
thing
Paul's
I like
Taco.
from Taco Bell is their crisp beef burrito. That's it.
Okay.
If you have the cold stuff, it's just salty.
Everything there is trash. I took my kids there because I was like, "You guys never been to Taco Bell?" And they said, "Nope." We went once, and they're like, my kids' palates are super developed. They're like, "This just doesn't taste very good." I'm like, what kid doesn't like Taco Bell? And I'm eating it. I'm like, oh yeah, because it tastes like absolute garbage.
Yeah. I can say during this quarantine, it's definitely made me. I should preface this. I'm a complete germaphobe, so that's the reason why I won't go and get fast
I
food.
would rather get 2 tacos or a monster taco from Jack in the Box than get a taco from Taco Bell. We lived on those. We lived on those.
I stopped eating fast food during this, though, because I'm such a germaphobe that I don't want anybody to touch food that I'm about to eat. So we started cooking at home a lot more. I didn't realize how much we were eating out or eating fast food, just like on the go, going somewhere, get it, pick it up.
Mm-hmm.
I've lost like, I think 11 pounds since we've been quarantined. And I forgot how much I actually loved cooking.
Oh yeah, me too.
So I'm not that mad about that part of the quarantine.
I don't miss eating out. I mean, there's some things that are just better out. Like, you can try make your pad thai, but
It's not gonna be the same.
it's not gonna be the same.
No.
You know, your Thai food, and you know, I can roll up some sushi rolls, but it's not the same. Sushi out, our Asian food out really works. I mean, I'm good at some things. I can do some Chinese dishes, some stir fry, some fried rice. Just did some tofu swimming rama. That's an easy Thai dish to do. It's basically just, if you get peanut butter and soy sauce, put that together, that's like your rama sauce from your from Thai stuff.
We've been doing a lot of like almost like Pacific Islander food because
Luau, you doing a whole hog?
no, like spam,
Yeah.
like spam
Spam, huh?
musubi and stuff like that. We made that. We've done like spam with like over rice
Bro,
with
you
like
got-
an egg.
What are you
and
doing?
like
This is the beginning of the pandemic. You have to save the spam, which lasts till the end. Once
dude,
the
I went to
food-
Costco.
Once the supply chains are cut,
Ain't gonna happen.
what are you gonna have all your perishables at the end? You gotta save the spam.
No, the spam. This dude, I have a case of 36 containers of spam.
How big?
I mean, like the cans are probably like yay each.
Okay.
We've only used 3.
Oh well, you're fine. You know, I just want.
We have a family of we have a family of 3. Dude, we could live on spam for a year.
You think so?
Oh God, I feel like it. I mean, I'd be sick of it. We got a bunch of
Someone
pasta, rice.
The burgers are good. J-Box tacos are garbage. I mean, that's what I'm saying. Taco Bell tacos are garbage. Jack in the Box is a better restaurant than Taco Bell. Therefore, anything they do is going to be better than Taco Bell. Taco Bell is not Mexican. Whatever it is, it's not Mexican food. It's not even Tex-Mex.
Was it this?
Dirt and garbage in your mouth.
Was it this last tour? I think I did it, where it was like some late night beer run, and I think we went to like Wendy's or something at a truck stop on this last tour, and I started dipping a cinnamon roll in chili. This person's just like, it sounds gross, but chili on a cinnamon roll is delicious. It's so good.
Oh yeah. That's a good combo actually. When you have sweet, cinnamon, and spice, it's a good combo.
What's this person's name? Black Stars. I have, so the case of spam that I have is black pepper spam. It's delicious. Delicious.
I'm drinking bourbon. I think it's bourbon. I think it's Bullet bourbon. I thought I had got the bourbon. It might be the rye, but I think it's the bourbon. The rye's 95, the bourbon's 80. So proof wise,
Yeah, as I'm drinking a caffeine-free Diet Dr. Coke that just ran out. Dr. Coke, Diet Coke.
Diet Dr. Coke.
Dr. Coke.
Why don't they come up with that?
I have caffeine-free Diet Dr. Pepper downstairs.
You mix that with the Dr. Coke.
Dr. Coke.
Your Diet Dr. Coke.
I think it just tastes like Coke at that point.
Gaza has got the shits. Is that a symptom of coronavirus? Well, yes, Gaza. What I've been hearing from my medical professionals is that some symptoms do do elevate to the level of shits. And what you should do is definitely stay at home. Don't go outside. Wear a mask. And no, I'm not. I'm kidding. I don't think the shits are one of them.
Actually, it is. So abdominal pain, diarrhea, fever are all symptoms of the coronavirus. But here's the thing: is they're going to ask you if you have one. If you don't have the other, they're going to send you home because you
got to have them all.
Well, you have to have at least a couple.
You got to get
fever is the big one.
The fever is the big one, and then obviously the dry cough.
The dry cough's a big one too.
I have a lot of people have been saying that they their taste buds, they lose their taste too.
Yeah, they lose sense of smell, which controls taste. But in some rare cases, they lose taste bud too.
Right. But the cough and the respiratory is the dangerous one, right, Mass? Because then you need, So I have not to scare you guys, and we are just here drinking and trying to hang out and trying to get through this together. But Christy's sister my wife's sister is a nurse, and she was saying that how some of the ICU nurses would see patients who were totally fine, had like 98% oxygen in their blood oxygen levels, and then it would suddenly drop to like in the 20s, like 20%. And it was within minutes, and they would notice that like the lungs would fill up with fluids, not water, but fluids in minutes, and then they would immediately have to be intubated. And being intubated sucks, you guys, so don't get sick, because if you get too sick, they have to put you under. So it's basically an induced coma to get intubated. So it's like, you know how they put you out for a surgery where they pull a tooth or something? It's like that, but it's like weeks.
Yeah.
So you don't want to be on a ventilator. You don't want to get tubed up. You want to
also
stay safe.
If you're on a ventilator for too long, your body starts to depend on a ventilator. And so then they have to it's actually pretty dangerous to come off of a ventilator fast afterwards.
Yeah. They tell you to wait. They wait till you wake up, basically. But like the tube in these ventilators, it goes down your trachea, and it can
your windpipe.
It can damage your vocal cords. It can do all kinds of stuff. It's not a pleasant thing. That's why they have to knock you out to put you on it.
Yep.
So anyways, if you're thinking about going out because your hospital's got new ventilators, just don't. Just stay home with us. We'll hang out.
Seattle just sent out a bunch of their ventilators to New York because we had too many, I guess.
We got we got a lot of healthy ones here. Health professionals here. PCU nurse, you can attest. Thank you, Lucas. We're not experts. We're just, we got to put a little fear in so you come back next week. You don't go out somewhere next week and think everything's fine. We want you to come back on Friday and come watch me play some tunes.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Come listen to Matt play tunes.
Well, what I'm saying, all of you people that have essential jobs and you got to work, obviously what you're doing is heroic. So I don't want to scare you.
Yes.
I'm trying to scare everybody else who doesn't need to be outside.
Nope. Where are you going? There's nobody there. He thinks there's somebody. There's nobody there. It's dog.
Anything else? Anybody else wants to talk about?
I saw a great meme yesterday or the day before, and it said allergy season this year is going to be like the Salem witch trials.
That's not good.
Where people are like, is it allergies or is it the Rona?
That's why I want to do stuff like that, because I feel like the social fabric is important. We start seeing other people as potentially dangerous to us, that's a problem. We're all in this together, right? That's the point.
We are.
That's why we got to stick together and see each other as humans, not potential threats, not witches, All of a sudden, Baptist Sunday morning vibe. Oh yeah, Robbie, he's big into the
religion.
SBC? I don't know what to call it. What's the Southern Baptist something?
Sing.
That is a Doge.
Sing.
I think that's
Sing
the Doge of Doge, isn't it?
This is the Doge of Doge.
Dogecoin. I literally sneeze and people look at me like I murdered 10 people. I know. It's terrible. But wear a mask. Everyone said, don't wear a mask. Just put a mask on. You're protecting other people if you put a mask on.
Dog's name is Cannon, Sarah. Like the camera.
Are you guys still in that scooter gang? Well, it's funny you mentioned that. The president of that scooter gang has a birthday today, and I was invited down to go scoot with them this evening. However, both of my scooters are in disrepair in my shed, so I can't be doing that. But yes, they're still around. They're still around. Us with wives and kids don't see them very often. Once a year, maybe.
We all did a big Zoom video chat the other day.
Oh yeah,
you weren't there.
I called too late for that. Yeah, I was putting the kids to bed.
I was there.
Yeah, you do some Thunderstruck.
We did some Thunderstruck. Yeah, I chugged 3 beers in like 10 minutes.
Good job. That's a lot for you. That's a lot for you.
I know. For those of you who don't know, I don't really drink that much. We did enough of it when we first started a band.
You never did that much. Come on. You don't like even being buzzed. You're like, I'm out of control.
No, not out of control. I get tired.
Yeah.
I get tired.
I'm
too big of a control freak.
It limits your options.
It does.
Yeah. That's what marijuana does to me.
See, marijuana to me, I'm just like, what do you guys want to do?
See,
we climb a mountain.
Weed ultimately limits my options to one, and that is bedtime.
It doesn't mean that the mountain is actually a mountain. It means that the mountain is probably the hill on the way to my kid's school. But when you're high, it's the mountain. Yeah. Look at that, dude. We could do that any day of the week. That's fine.
Falling asleep halfway through my Jeopardy sucks. Oh, yeah, that's a joke about how we're old.
Oh. Lol. What else we got?
Matt, play my funeral. When is it? I'll see if my schedule's open. When's your funeral again? Just let me know. Hopefully not.
So
soon.
Messed up if he's like, now.
He's like, actually Sunday. Dark.
Actually Sunday.
Dark. Don't go there.
This is mate. Let's see what.
Play your wedding. Yeah, sure.
Yeah, we'll play your wedding. I can photograph your wedding.
Yeah.
While I play it.
Robbie's always looking for clients, and I'm always looking for a quick buck.
What song is you?
R.I.P. Bernie, am I right? Oh, man. Screwball.
Are either of us history buffs? I'm not.
I love history. Why? What part of history? 1989 by Taylor Swift? Is that the part of history we're talking about?
It's technically vintage that year.
Tour details. Yeah, I can fill you in. It's postponed. We were gonna book it for September, October, but basically if you have tickets, they're still good, and then you can see what the new dates are. If you can't make it, you can get a refund. But if you already have tickets, hold on to them because it's looking like November now once everything's cleared up. So it'll be all the same places.
I think there's going to be a new normal coming up. I think that this quarantine thing is going to, and all the face masks and how clean everybody is and paranoid, I think that's going to go into, I feel like that's partially going to go into next year. I don't think the quarantine is. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying like the new normal is like they might open up smaller concert venues and like bigger bands might be playing smaller concert venues. People in those venues might be wearing masks. Yeah. I mean, like, yeah, you know, I don't think events are going to be huge like sports games. Yeah. I think those are done until next year.
Well, once everybody in the country has a stack of N95s and it's mandated that you need an N95 to go out, then I don't see why you can't have a concert if everyone's got an N95 on.
We're all going to look like Bane from Batman.
I mean, people will do it though. They'll be desperate to go out and get live music that way.
Well,
I think.
that's the thing about weddings, like in the industry that I'm in professionally, is that I'm going to be shocked, literally shocked, if at all this summer anybody's wedding is allowed to be over like 40 to 50 people. I will be shocked.
Yeah. Tom makes a good point. Can you sing with an N95 mask on? Yeah. So it's almost like the band has to be testing positive to be able to play because they're just spitting. I mean, half the time I'm just spitting on the whole front row.
Yeah.
So.
Sweat. I don't know. Can you get it? Can you get it from sweat? Is that like a
bro? At this point, you get it from the air. So.
Yeah.
You know when it first happened and everyone's like, "Oh no, it's these big droplets," and it'll get on something, and then you'll touch it, and then you'll touch your face, and you'll get. Now that's like, nah, just breathing, breathing.
Yeah.
The ones that float in the air, those ones, not the big droplets. So
I'm thankful that I don't live in an area where it's a really concentrated thing. Because I'd be scared to go outside right now. I mean, we have a house, and a yard and stuff. But even to mow the lawn, I'd probably like wear a mask. Where we live, there's like 100 cases over all this time and like one death. Like how far south we live. So if I was like in Snohomish or Seattle or God, I mean New York, like my dog would have to shit inside. Like
Yeah.
I'd just be like,
well, I mean, you can go out to. The sidewalk as long as you're not interacting with anybody. Can confirm from being front row at TCC that Matt spits a lot. I mean, you try to sing along to those songs without spitting. It is hard.
walking away from a TCC show like, I'm never gonna wipe the spit off my face.
Yeah.
Sometimes we don't brush our teeth, so maybe
we would be what is known as super spreaders. We'd be super spreaders if we toured the country totally asymptomatic infected. We would just be every show we would just be dousing people in infected particles. And just every 200 whatever people go home and they infect everybody else. It's just insane. No, it's fine. That's what live rock is. It's really just spit.
It's just a spit show.
It's just a total spit show.
If you're enjoying this,
tip some bits. That's my Nightbot. Is Robbie coughing a lot?
Oh yeah, so I went to the doctor last week because I was having like these horrible headaches, like my nose was crazy, and I was like coughing, like, and I had like a little bit of shortness of breath. And they were like, have you been around anybody that has COVID-19? I was like, not that I know of. I don't really go anywhere, so probably not. And they're like, and I mean, if I went to the grocery store that one time, maybe. And they're like, not likely. And so they were like, do you have seasonal allergies? And I'm like, yeah, I do. And they're like, yeah, this is our nightmare right now because we're seeing a lot of people develop coughs with seasonal allergies this year. And so they gave me an inhaler, and they gave me like Zyrtec and all that, like Afrin nasal spray, like whatever. And it's gotten like 1,000 times better. Like about 5 days ago, my eyes were so swollen. They were almost like swollen shut. My allergies were so bad.
So you had allergies and you thought maybe this is COVID? I think this is the time where everyone with allergies is thinking, is this it? Is this the coronavirus?
Well, yeah, but I mean, the other thing is too, is that like, they won't test unless you have a fever. If you have a fever, they'll test you. If you don't have
a fever is sign of that your body's trying to beat a virus by sweating it out. So if you don't have a virus, then it's just Well, no, I mean that's the problem though. Is I feel like they need to be testing people that only have either minor symptoms, or if somebody just goes in and is like, "Hey, test me." I mean, I wish there was enough tests to do that. I wish there was. Well, and the old tests, they took like 48 hours to get back to you what the result was, and you don't even want the test. Have you seen how those tests, those original tests have been? They
Yeah, you have to stick it all the way in your nose.
all the way back to like your brain stem. So you
That doesn't scare me though, because I used to do that with a pencil when I was stoned in high school.
that makes me want to sneeze.
It does, but that was like my high school days. Of like, that was my party trick. That explains a lot.
That's bad, Robbie. Oof. Allergies are bad. A breathing treatment. What is that?
That's when you have like a nebulizer where like you put this liquid like albuterol into like a little for little kids. They have like penguins is what Dane has when he would get sick, and it just creates steam like your humidifier on tour.
Okay.
But you just breathe it in and out, and it just gives the medicine like slowly, because
Okay.
kids are bad at taking like inhalers and shit.
Right. And it's like a Vicks Vapor Rub. Well, do we have anything else to talk about? We talked about tour. We talked about coronavirus. Talked about sticking together.
Talked about music.
We talked about some music stuff. We talked about, yeah.
I'm really thankful.
covered some
I
things.
have neighbors. Like I was when we first started messing with this thing before we went live. I have neighbors that we made a pact. We said, okay, we're gonna go to the grocery store. We're gonna buy all the groceries we need for like 3 weeks. And so we went to the grocery store in case somebody gets the Rona. And so we go to the grocery store, and then they don't go anywhere afterwards. We haven't gone anywhere afterwards. So after 3 weeks, being neighbors, we can go, hey,
No
we
one's
can, like-
no one's interacted with them either.
nobody's interacted with them at all. They haven't allowed anybody in their house. We haven't allowed anybody in ours.
And you haven't gone to the store at all?
Nope, not in 3 weeks.
Oh, that's great. See,
Yeah.
I've still been going occasionally to Lowe's.
Yeah.
I wear a mask and gloves, and I'm pretty safe. But the problem with our neighbors that we hang out with is the guy has really bad asthma.
Oh yeah,
really
that's how-
bad. Has been hospitalized for it. And
That's almost a sure if he gets it by.
Yeah. So we're just so nervous that even if we're asymptomatic infected, like to not, because I could, who knows, man, I could pick it up somewhere, not even know I have it, give it to his kid. So it's super like, it's weird to tell a 7-year-old kid, yeah, you have to stay on your lawn. You can't play with our kid, because she doesn't get it. She's like, like she just wants to play, but
Yeah.
it's like, I just want to say, I don't want to kill your dad. Like, I'm
Yeah.
okay offending you right now. I don't say that
Exactly.
obviously, but like,
That's the hardest thing.
Yeah.
Is Dane's friends kept coming to the door, and I'd answer that we have one of those Nest doorbells, so I just get on there on my phone, like, I don't want to answer this. And they'd like ring the doorbell. I'd have to go over there and like Lysol wipe it off or whatever
Right.
afterwards. But I'm just like, hey guys, I finally told them, I'm like, hey, until all this is done with and you guys are back in school, Dane can't play.
right. Yeah, it's a bummer. It sucks
And
for the kids because
it
all
sucks.
they want to do is like really connect with each other. And
Exactly.
I mean, that's all we all want to do, really. But like adults are better at hiding it. But like kids are they just wear it on their sleeve. They just want to play so bad. And like, I was driving to go get something from the store, and I saw my daughter Piper like kind of close to the neighbor's yard, and I'm like, guys, make sure you're like 6 feet apart. Stay on the side of the fence or whatever. And she's like, but Dad, I don't like coronavirus. I was like, nobody does.
No.
It sucks for everybody. And I wish you could play. I wish you could really just, I wish this wasn't a thing. I wish people weren't dying, but. You know,
Exactly. I mean,
we
that's
gotta
the
do
thing.
our
It's
best.
it's the weirdest thing where like our kids right now are the luckiest kids ever. They went to school 4.5 months this year and they don't have to go back.
Yeah.
Like, but at the same time, now they can't play with other kids until this is done.
Right. I mean, yeah, I don't know. Lucky's a weird word for it, but I want to say that it's really, really hard for them now, but I think this is like the least traumatic growth event that you could have. I mean, because it could be like nuclear war or something way worse. But
I mean,
like,
yeah, what other kids experience in other countries,
or
yeah,
just war.
comparison.
I mean, or just like like World War II. Like, you know, one country bombed our whatever, and then another country's taken over Europe, and it's like we got to stop them, or they're gonna murder everybody. Like that was, and then all the factories shut down and started making weapons. Like that was World War II.
But I want you to know, it is a war. It's an enemy. It's an invisible enemy. The enemy, it's invisible.
Yeah. How we
It's
fight?
an invisible enemy.
Yeah, we gotta fight it with invisible policies.
Invisible pulse. Yeah, I just read something from a retired epidemiologist that said the social distancing thing. Actually, I'm not saying I agree or disagree, but I read something where he said that the social distancing thing is actually the worst thing that we could technically be doing for stopping the spread, because if we did this for 4 weeks, say we started tomorrow for 4 weeks, he said, and we just concerts, sport events, everyone gets sick. Hospitals are overloaded. That sucks. 4 weeks. He said, boom, it's done. Because you have 80% herd immunity at that point.
Well, yeah, it's
And I don't
done.
agree or disagree.
It's done, but the carnage, man. Like the thing
Carnage is horrible.
The thing is, you want to, if you can save lives, you want to buy some time. You got to buy some time. The scientific community needs to develop some antiviral treatments and eventually a vaccine, but at least some antiviral treatments where they can be like, how do we stop people from dying on this virus? And if they have no time and suddenly the hospitals are slammed, that's just too much death for us to take. You know what I mean?
I agree with that. I mean, that means all of a sudden, like the neighbors on both sides of you just died.
It's a classic trolley problem in philosophy. Like, you know, would you save one life of whatever to save many or whatever? And you're running these counterfactuals of like, well, if we shut down the economy, it will have this amount of negative damage. But if we don't shut down the economy and all these people die, will have this amount, and you have no idea. There's so many factors that make it complicated. You don't know which one's better. All you know is you can't let the hospitals be overrun right away because that means people are dying. It's like the difference between a forest fire and climate change. Like climate change is this amorphous thing in the distance, which like, you know, and then the fire is coming, and the fire right now was like, stop the spread because the spread's going to fill the hospitals and people are going to die. And it's like, but if you shut everyone down and the economy shuts down, then what's the greater problem? And that greater problem is kind of like climate change. It's like, it could be really, really bad, but right now we have fire at our doorstep. So we have to put this fire out. You know, it's this weird thing.
Won't go back to work for another 6 months. They should find a cure, vaccine, and antibiotics that work.
Doctors are saying that everyone won't go back to work unless they find a cure. So basically, yeah, it's not that people are saying shut down the economy. It's that people are like, listen, I don't want to get sick. Yeah.
I agree. I mean, like, that's what I was saying with events is it's just like the psychological impact this is going to have on everybody. It's not, I mean, everyone's going to go to the store with a mask or with, as you know, Walmart pictures have had people with like paper bags over the head with the eyes cut out.
Well,
but
I mean,
like,
in Asia, this is already a thing. Like people walk around in China after the SARS epidemic with masks on, and there's no stigma with it. In our country, we've had the stigma. It's like, why is that person wearing a mask? Are they sick? Are they getting me sick? What's wrong with them?
I think it's going to be a new normal.
We need to destigmatize the masks. It's just someone trying not to spread something. If they feel like a symptom or something and they're wearing a mask, that's good. But in parts of Asia, that's already a normalized thing, wearing a mask, and I think it's a responsible thing to do. Obviously, a bag on your head or some like party hat beak on your mouth. What's this like lady with a jar on her head, like a giant plastic jar? I mean, whatever. That's American ingenuity, right? We do it a little different.
Yeah, exactly. But pretty much what his point is in saying is that with the information coming out that this could have been here since November, and he said the people that are going to die either already have or are on their way right now. Like, that's not to say like 2 or 3, 10,000 more may not make it
so
too.
He's thinking like 100 times more than what's been confirmed has been exposed already.
Exactly.
And so
that's what he's saying.
They'd be on their way to the hospital already.
Exactly. And the other thing that he was saying was that the curve that we're trying to flatten a curve we're flattening a curve, but how long are we creating that curve to go? That was the other thing and when the interviewer asked him, he goes, well, what do you think about how do you say his name? Fauci,
yeah.
Fauci.
Yeah.
They were like, what do you think about what the other doctor said? And he goes, well, I'm not paid by the government, so I'm allowed to do science. And I was like, burn.
Yeah, I think Dr. Fauci's pretty legit. I think
he's good too.
There's a reason why he's paid by the government. But like not every one person's going to be right. There's no final authority on this. This thing behaves. There's so many epidemiological studies where they just study the system of how the patterns of how it will spread and how fast it will spread and when
exactly.
Like that's a whole like it's like math and there's 1,700 different theories about what's going to happen. And they're all professional doctors or epidemiologists, scientists, that are working in tandem with virologists and people that understand how viruses work. And the virologists are trying to figure out what does this virus specifically do, because it's not SARS. It's not like the flu. It's not like anything else. We don't know. And it could mutate. It's like really weird how much we don't know and how fragile our whole system is. Like we've been lucky not to have some scare like this. For many, many years. And the fact that we have this scare, I think, is a really good thing, because this is not the one that's going to wipe us out. But the one that's going to wipe us out is coming. It could be this generation or next generation or a couple generations from now. But we got to lay the groundwork. And a little scare like this, now, this is worse than H1N1. Like, that didn't scare us. This has got to scare us into getting our act together as a globe, really. But as a country specifically, because we got to figure out, I'm thinking about how many kids missed their graduation this summer. High school kids missed their graduation. God. But they're accepted to maybe they're smart, right? They're accepted to some program at some university. How many of them are going to switch their majors? And I hope this is true, to virology, epidemiology, to finding out something related to discovering a vaccine or studying tropical viruses, whatever it is. I just think like this, like the fact that you couldn't walk, you couldn't graduate, you couldn't go to prom. Like, I hope all the smart kids that missed it, that really, really want to study science, go and make sure that never happens again. Go solve this problem for us. Go figure out the DNA or RNA or whatever it is. I'm not a scientist, but I'm just saying we need the smart people to figure this out, and they haven't been looking at it for a long time because it's not important. You know? And now
and that's the thing. Even George Bush said in a quote that it's not a war we're not prepared for, it's the next pandemic.
Yeah.
I mean, like, alongside with Bill Gates said the same thing.
Yeah.
By the way, for everyone watching this, I'm not trying to get into politics or like saying my views or saying, I'm just saying quotes from people that, we've all seen things or memes or whatever, or conspiracy theories of things that are going on. But I'm not putting my viewpoints on things. One viewpoint that I will put on something, though, economically is
Trump 2020 is what he's saying.
Trump 2020. No, but the main thing that I don't understand right now, and it's everyone is trying to figure out, is their rent, their mortgages. And I've said this the whole entire time. I'm like, the government, Fannie Mae, Freddie Mac, everybody need to come together and go, offer deferments, bail out the mortgage companies if they need to. If you want to bounce back from this as an economy, and I'm looking forward to seeing what anybody says if they tell me I'm wrong in this, is that the trickle-down effect from landlords having mortgages to renters not having to pay mortgages, even if, say, like, somebody didn't need to defer their payment, if they do, they probably will, that's going to be more money, especially if you don't need to, pumped back into the economy once this is all lifted and you can kind of go places here and there and things like that. I think that's more of a bounce back than a $1,200 stimulus check. I saw a meme that somebody said that the stimulus check is like putting a Cheeto in front of a SWAT team trying to get in a door.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it's kind of it kind of, like, honestly, I wish Andrew Yang was still in the race, because he had some actual solutions to the problem that most Americans live month to month on the brink. And his big scary thing was that automation was going to come take all their jobs, when the reality is pandemic shelter in place took everyone's jobs. And now everyone's month to month. We have month to month tenants who pay rent to month landlords who pay rent to month corporations that are month to month. Like, everyone's like, no one has the reserves. No one can sustain it. They're like, listen, if we don't get our rent, we're going to default on the mortgage. And the mortgage collectors are like, listen, if we default on these mortgages, we're going to file bankruptcy. It's like no one can sustain a couple months, you know?
If the mortgagees, like the landlords and stuff, default on their mortgages, nobody has a place to live after this is done. Like with the apartment complexes, leases, whatever, it's usually land developers that own them. But with that, it's like the forbearance option isn't an option, because for everyone that has the month to month basis, you're looking at, sure, you can defer up to 12 months. You can do a forbearance on up to 12 months, which means you push off those payments for 12 months. But then the thing that they're not realizing that most people can't do is the gigantic balloon payment that you have at the end of it.
Right.
You know, where if you're like in Seattle, or it's not realistic, I'm just going to throw out a random number, $2,000 a month mortgage payment somewhere around Seattle. If you have that, after 1 year, that's $22,000. So once that forbearance period's up, you owe on month 13, $24,000.
Right.
And so that's why the deferment has to happen. That's going to free up a whole lot of money coming out of this,
right? Especially
for the people that don't need it.
Yeah. I mean, it's crazy. I mean, obviously, it's crazy. I see, you know, living through the Tea Party years, where you know, there was this Occupy Wall Street and the banks and the Tea Party and all this stuff. And I used to live downtown Seattle at the time, so I would see, you know, these protests and stuff. And like now, seeing that then of like people, like this huge wave of Tea Party Republicans coming in to try to stop all the spending. And then now to see Mitch McConnell be like, all right, we passed the first multi-trillion-dollar stimulus, and now we're going to roll out the second, and the American people need more, and we're just printing money. It's like, what is going on? This world, that like nothing seems the same anymore. It's almost like there was, it's going to be Mandela effect-y, but like our universe, something happened. There's a glitch in the
100%.
There's a glitch in the simulation.
100%.
You know?
Did you hear that they actually have the capabilities of minting $1 trillion coins?
Honestly, just buy Bitcoin at this point.
No, I'm saying, but like they can mint $1 trillion coin, like a physical coin that they'd sell. I can't remember how it is. If the Fed sells it to the Treasury sells it to the Fed, honestly, the Fed holds it it's something with the bond market. It's way above my pay grade. Mm-hmm. I was just amazed though. Could you imagine seeing a coin worth $1 trillion? Ocean's 13, the movie.
Yeah. I mean, they have to tie it to something physical, I guess, but they're just telling you what it's worth. They change numbers on it's just, you guys, these are unstable times, but we'll get through it. I don't want to scare anybody with the fact that our dollar is useless. It's still useful. It's still useful. We can buy groceries. We can do things, and until it's useless, keep using it. And I hope we all can pay our rents with it. I hope the government bails us all out, and we'll do fine. And I hope you all can get back to work or figure out some workaround. If you have work that you can't be there for, if you're a thought worker, if you work with your brain, if you can figure out a way to work from home, that would be great. Oh, all you people on the front lines are doing such a good job. So thank you for still going out. I mean, I'm not trying to shame people for going to work. We need you, obviously, at this point. So
My wife has to go back to work on Monday.
into her office.
Mm-hmm.
I guess she's the law. So
The Superior Court, yeah.
She's
The
the
well,
courts.
what they're doing is they're cycling people out, which doesn't make kind of makes sense. Doesn't make sense. The reasoning behind it makes absolutely zero sense. Where she's getting paid to stay home right now. There's no way with her job she can work from home due to the softwares and the legal system, the computers. You can't bring people's personal files home.
it's got to be in the cloud. She logs in, she works it. I mean,
No,
they have to
dude,
update that stuff.
Courts are like archaic systems.
I know, this is a perfect reason to update them.
I
You
think
know
that
what I mean?
I think that what we've realized through a lot of this, people can work from home, but what they're doing is they're cycling one group out that's been working for 2 weeks and bringing another group in and letting those people be paid for just staying home because they were getting jealous that this group was getting, and so they'll cycle out every 2 weeks until this is done. But the courts aren't even open. That's the weird thing. The doors are locked.
Yeah.
People can't even come file anything, nothing in person.
That's not
so they
good
just
for
sit
crime.
there. No, courts are closed. Well, those courtrooms are still open. They're in a different building than she's
Right.
in, but yeah.
Right. Well, everybody, you just basically saw a phone call, a classic between me and Robbie. This is what we normally
pretty
do.
much.
Robbie will FaceTime me, and then we'll have this conversation about stuff we're going to get from the government to help us pay our mortgages. So, hope you enjoyed it. Hodl. Buy
Hopefully,
Bitcoin.
we make you guys super sad.
No shirts next time, please. Well,
You don't want to see that.
Yeah, the quarantine bot is not. It's not top notch right now.
I went downstairs to get Cheez-Its during this. You don't want to see.
Cheez-Its?
You're not ready for jelly.
It's good jelly. I'll be here in 2 days on Friday. I'll be sitting back here playing acoustic songs, which I need to still practice. So I hope you show up for that, and we'll be back. Maybe we'll be back next week to check in with you. Thanks for showing up. Hopefully we didn't bum you out. The whole point was to get together and just hang out like we're in a bar, just hanging out, talking about what's happening out there. Because all we get is just inundated with digital content, and here's some faces talking about real things, and hopefully that comforted you. I know we tend to talk about scary things sometimes too. So, but thank you for showing up, and we'll see you on Friday, 9 p.m. PST. And if you don't make it, you can watch it after VOD. VOD,
Peace out, guys.
as they say.
I'll
Okay.
stay on here with you, Matt, until it ends.
All right. Peace, guys.